speech, and I do admire the Queen very much. So hello everyone, and welcome. So if anybody was offended by that first part one, I do apologise, but I was getting the energies that were very quite passionate there. Okay, I don't know why, but that's what I was getting. So I feel like now I'm back to how I normally am. But going back to that speech, the Queen's speech was about people. Okay, about people, about people, and the differences and the diversities, and kind of respecting those differences, which is very poignant to this situation. I will go deeper into this speech and this Sandringham kind of affair here, meeting. So just bear with me while I do pull in some, and I need to also use my cards. Wherever they are. There they are. Okay, well, this Sandringham, was very much, the Queen is getting elderly, and I get all of these people, all the royals here were all kind of thrust together within Sandringham, okay, and they were thrust together. I don't feel that half of them wanted to be with each other. I feel this Fab Four here, I feel this kind of image that I get from William. The image of the Fab Four makes his stomach churn. That's what I get. I don't feel that he wants to be this fab kind of four, and he finds it a bit repulsive because of the differences. And I do get from the hello everyone, and Happy New Year to you too. And I'm just having a look here. Hello everyone. The Fab Four. Well, I do get that. I think Meghan would be okay with that, but I feel that William hates it. It kind of grates on him. This Meghan situation brought outrage. I feel brought outrage from a lot of kind of corners here of the public, from the public and the royal family and the aristocratic set, that they felt that she is not suitable. Okay. And I feel this is what stemmed, and it's going deeper into this kind of request here from the Queen that we should all respect differences. And I don't classify this person is not suitable. Would it take a miracle? I also get that. Would it take a miracle for people to actually trust in these differences? What do you think there? Well, I do get a lot of people feel that somebody is not kind of has some kind of mental issues. And a fantasist. I feel this is what I'm getting intuitively. As the other reading, I felt like it was very kind of another person talking. I didn't feel it was even me talking, actually. But this relationship, whenever somebody talks to Meghan, there's this kind of energy of having to be in like having to be fake, you know, faking it, and it's a fantasy. It feels like it's a to her it's like a fantasy. To the royal set, to the aristocratic set, it's not a fantasy, it's the way they actually live. Okay. So I do get that here with the moon card in reverse. And the moon card in reverse is what's hidden, you know, what's hidden in people's thoughts here. So yeah, maybe a lot of people did kind of snub Meghan, and is that unfair in a way? Because I do get that the Queen here has this vision of the future. She has a vision of the future, and it's kind of this libertarian liberty. The Queen has this kind of, and this is what's coming through intuitively. It's not fact at all. Okay. So if you believe this, you actually believe this. Sorry, I keep getting cut out there. So if you believe this, you actually believe it. But I get a liberty here, a liberty. And I get, I mean, somebody said there on the comments that Meghan doesn't appear to have any kind of class. Now, I did say in part one that it was kind of a class kind of differences too. But the vision here of the future is liberty and civilization, and pulling together for the sake of peace. That's what's coming through here. And let people be, and just let people be. Now, I got this with one of my readings that I said that this is what the Queen wants, actually, for everyone to kind of accept Meghan. Okay, and this is what I put on the title, is accept Meghan and respect her. And let people be who they are, with these amazing kind of diversities. It was an amazing message to the world, I feel. It was an amazing message to the world. And communicating, I feel communicating for her grandson here, who is Harry. I feel she was communicating for Harry. She wants Harry to be happy. I feel that Harry is very liberated in terms of diversities, and it's part of who he is, and it's kind of, you know, people should accept diversities, and this is kind of this new kind of movement here within the royal family. Let people be who they are. I get that. And this is very much a change for the royal family of modernizing. I do get modernizing, and communicating this without kind of words. Yeah, communicating this without words, without actually saying, you know, let's just accept these diversities and just let people be who they are. Because why does this kind of, and it is an amazing message, it is very spiritual too, because I get, it's accepting this is real life, this is realism. And, you know, there is at this present time, the way it stands at the moment is there is this kind of glass kind of ceiling. You know, we have the royals, the aristocratic set here, and you cannot, if you are a normal person and a commoner, you cannot get through that glass ceiling here. And this is where Meghan is positioned, is I feel she wants to get through that glass ceiling. I mean, obviously, that's what we can see, and a lot of us feel quite uncomfortable that a commoner is actually trying to kind of smash this kind of glass ceiling here. And this is what she needs. I get this vision of a glass ceiling and smashing this glass ceiling for Meghan to be accepted. Otherwise, otherwise she's not going to get accepted if we're going to stick with this kind of, and the protocol does not help. The protocol is giving out this kind of message of colonial, like an old-fashioned traditional kind of colonialism. I can't say it, but I get like a very kind of racist feel about it. You have to wear a pretty frilly dress to be a lady, and you have to wear a pretty frilly hat to be a lady, which going back to, the plantation years from times of slavery, the lady of the house, the lady of the plantation house was very much that lady in the frilly frock, and the big hat, while the slaves walked around in rags, So it's kind of, there is this kind of uncomfortable, kind of racist kind of feel about that protocol here. And maybe it isn't appropriate, and maybe that's why Meghan actually tries to break this protocol. Maybe she feels that it does kind of touch on this kind of glass ceiling where black people were very limited to what they was able to achieve back in many years ago. So okay, so yeah, just have a look at your comments here. Yeah, you do have to be courteous. I do agree with that, Spring Flowers. And values too. Yeah, there were white slaves as well. I think my ancestors were white slaves, so I'm a commoner, and my ancestors were poor and lived in poverty. No, it's not about race. I don't feel it's about race, but I get there is some kind of political correctness here. I feel there is a huge side of the public who feels that this is racist, to actually wear these frilly dresses and all this kind of thing, and refer it back to those kind of days. And there is this internal battle with African, people who have African ancestors. There are these kind of internal battles here, and it's hard for them to let go of how there was kind of slavery. I feel there was slavery within the royal family too. So it's hard for them to let this go, So I get internal battles, and this goes quite deep. This kind of diversity and accepting this diversity. I feel this enormity of this entering the royal family, the enormity of it, has kind of taken Meghan's breath away in terms of, different directions of attitudes from, the African side and also the white side, and different kind of cultures and different diversities. And I feel this is what this is about, is that maybe Meghan and Harry have spoken to the Queen at length about this, is that the public are very reluctant to accept these diversities. And yeah, so I get this like historical It's kind of trying to turn this around. And the power of this royal machine here, yeah, again, the magician. So is somebody kind of trying to modernize the monarchy here? I get a magician, somebody who's maybe talked to the enormity of this. Is very shocking for the public. And this is where the royal family, the royal firm here has power to actually change this. Okay, change this mood, change this, and this is a massive change for the royal family, and it's a huge kind of modernization, and it's thrown up a lot of challenges here. So it's kind of, yeah, I do get that Meghan just wants to break that glass ceiling, you know, of these changes. And it's like Meghan is like an exhibit. Meghan is like an exhibit in kind of the royal family, showing off of you know, showing off, look what the monarchy can do here. And this is like an advancement for the monarchy. It's an advancement. And I do get this sense of, we can bend this. We can bend this to the will of the crown. What does that mean? Anybody got any ideas? But I do get that that, you know, we can bend this to the will of the crown. So we can say that, you know, this is an advancement for the crown, for the monarchy. Yeah, I do get she's like an exhibit, you know. It's like, look, we've got this this multicultural person. It's all very much, you know, the royal family are changing. They didn't realise how much of a challenge this would be, and it's very, very, very significant. Yeah, caution, challenges that this is kind of thrown up here, and it's very kind of it's very significant here to the monarchy. A symbol of the future. And I don't know why they're bringing politics into this, but they hope that this kind of movement here of the monarchy is actually going to bring peace, you know, peace here. I get the Sun card. Now, I get all of this kind of modernization, this significance to the monarchy, the kind of bending this to the will of the crown. It's all because Harry gets what Harry wants here, okay, which is he gets this woman that is this actress, and but this has brought shame, okay, brought shame to the royal family. I feel that there's shame here, a realization of bringing shame here. They didn't realize this would bring shame, but it's kind of the background of where she comes from, and this kind of Jerry Springer kind of family. How can you bend the will of that to the crown? I mean, there is this shame card here. I don't want to say this has brought shame to the monarchy, but I get this shame card. Harry has brought this woman into the family, and now it's like we have to bend this around the crown, okay? And we have to do this quickly. We have to do this quickly and swiftly. And I feel that there was this pregnancy with Meghan to actually bring the public around to Meghan very quickly, and swiftly, okay. People, cultures, and walking away from this past here, this old kind of way of thinking. The sooner, the quicker we do this, the quicker that Meghan has a child, a multicultural royal, then the better here. And we can triumph over this, and we can start again, and we can start again with this child. I get a son here, a son, and we can start again. We can bend the will of the public with this, okay, and it'll be a new beginning. So this is what the Queen's speech was all about here, and it did refer to the world. She did refer to the world. I get the world card, but in essence, she was trying to bend the will of the crown around this kind of situation here. I feel that they've not known how to handle this. And the way they've handled this is to accept differing kind of diversities. That's how they've looked at this. And the royal family or the Queen is saying, we are accepting Meghan, okay. So we want the public to accept her. Well, I do get, in this particular instance, I do feel that Meghan is, the reason why this is being voiced is because Meghan is in between here. She's in between, she's in kind of limbo. She's in like a no man's land here. And they're trying to bring it to that she's a royal and she's welcome. And we welcome diversities. And it's like, I get William is saying, why do we have to bend everything for this Meghan? Because I get the family feel forced to leave this tradition behind. It's like building a new foundation here. Because I feel Meghan feels quite lonely in this position of it being in no man's land, and correcting this position as this is Meghan, and she's been in a lot of pain over this and procrastinating over this. And I feel the royal family have been oblivious of this pain of her sitting here on the fence and actually being in this kind of no man's land of not being accepted. And yeah, I did get this a while back that the Queen actually wants the public to accept her. Yeah, a baby is the best way for her to get accepted, I feel. Get public mood on her side, because I get the public are not kind of warming to her as it stands here, because she's kind of nowhere here. She's nowhere. She's kind of lost here. Okay, she's kind of nowhere land, and I do feel that I feel that Meghan actually feels that she really misses the life of being part of the Hollywood set. You know, she felt appreciated as an actress, and she was like really bigged up as well in Suits, and was in all the interviews that she had. She was an absolute superstar. She was treated like a superstar, and she didn't have to worry about any of this, any of this, like just sitting in the middle on the fence, because Meghan has really achieved in her acting career. And she felt very kind of comfortable with that, and she does miss that. She misses that adoration of being an acceptance of being within the Hollywood set, because now she's in this kind of royal set. She's not accepted. And I feel that she just thinks in her own time, in her own private time here, Meghan, she thinks to herself, if only that would have lasted a little bit longer, because I feel she worked so hard to get to that. If only that could have lasted a little bit longer, because now I feel that Meghan feels oblivious. She feels invisible here, although she's not. She's very much in the public eye. But she thinks about this a lot. And she didn't realise the aristocratic upper kind of classes would actually be like this. She thought that she would, because she was, in the United States, Hollywood people are treated like gods, and she felt that would be, the same within the royal family, but it's not, is it? Because the royal family don't like to be treated like gods. They actually like to be treated like they're humble, and they want the public to accept them. So, all that kind of frugal sense with their money and all of this, it's so the public, they gain respect from the public. And I do get Meghan thinking to herself, if only that had lasted a little bit longer, okay. And now I'm in this kind of no kind of class kind of situation in this limbo land here. And now I've got to, I feel that her spirit is dying here because of this. I feel that her spirit is leaving her, and she feels that she's had to sacrifice quite a lot to be within this royal family, okay. And there is this kind of, she feels like she's got to tame her spirit, and she's got a very kind of passionate spirit, and she feels like she's got to be as cold as a stone. And Meghan is not cold as a stone. She's not like that, okay. I feel that she feels this is a horrible consequence of what she's actually given up here, of her own status, to actually be treated this way. So I feel that there's been, all of this has been talked about, and yeah, I feel that there's a new series. There's the rerunning Suits on the UK TV, because we don't know about Suits, and I've never seen her on these television programs. So they're rerunning this Suits on British TV. So I guess so the UK can see that what Meghan has actually achieved. I think she was some kind of ambitious kind of freak. I get that. She was an ambitious freak. And I think she would even say that herself, yes, I was an ambitious freak. And I do get that she actually starved herself for that role. She became a vegetarian because she could have a lot less calories to be able to work on that set. She was so skinny. But I'm a working woman. I am a working woman. I earn my own money, and I get that. I'm not going to be polite, because I am a working woman, and for all the royal privileges here that you're offering me, I'd rather be a working woman. And I get this from Meghan's thoughts here. for all your privileges, for all these kind of Sandringham, you know, the gold gilded chairs and the opulent curtains and opulent furniture, I would give that up to be that working. I need to be a working woman. And this is what she's voiced here. I don't work because of class status. I work because I like to work. Yeah. So I get that from Meghan here. But I do get this house of cards is about to collapse. Or they're trying to prevent this house of cards here, because this house of cards, I get a vision of a house of cards, you know, a house made up of cards, and if one just, you know, is taken out very slowly, the whole thing will collapse. So they're trying to make sure that this house of cards does not collapse, because it has been so strategically engineered. And actually, I get like this house of cards, and it's been engineered this way. But I get Meghan is now locked into this house, you know, locked into this now. And I also get, what about my security? I didn't expect this backlash. What about my security? There's also a security issue with Meghan. Okay. Well, there's so many issues here. Whether this is because actually Meghan likes the attention. I feel she gets a lot of attention. And there is this question mark of, does she actually create this attention? She says she feels like she's been punished here. I'm a working woman, and I feel that you're making me feel shameful for wanting to actually work here for my living. I like to work. I can't live without working. It's part of who I am. I'm ambitious. I need to work. Now there is this like nurturing this woman, nurturing Meghan here. And this culture difference. They're actually nurturing her to make her feel better. She's got them all kind of running around her. Meghan has got them all, unless Meghan is so clever that she's got them all running around her like some crazy people. Oh, we don't want Meghan to feel imprisoned. We don't want Meghan to feel, you know, that this is a punishment. We don't want Meghan to feel that she has been punished for this culture difference. So she's fighting back. I get Meghan is fighting back. Why do you want me to go by this protocol? Because, you know, I am who I am, and I am a working woman, and I have my own, I am different. You need to honor my differences here. So maybe this Queen's speech here is about honoring these differences. I feel there's eggshells, walking around eggshells with this. People can't breathe around her. They've got to be careful what they say to Meghan. What is the life going to be here? Previously celebrating. Okay, when she was in Hollywood and she got this big role in Suits, she celebrated, everybody celebrated like crazy, champagne popping everywhere, and now she cannot celebrate being part of the royal family like it's a new job or it's a new acting role. There's no celebration apart from the wedding. So this is why she's rebelling against this. You know, she's rebelling against this. I will get noticed somehow. I will get noticed somehow. I get somebody here. I feel the Queen. Somebody is going to say to Meghan, you married, you know, Harry, who is a prince. So Harry comes first here. Harry comes first. You actually come second. Okay. You come second to Harry. So this is the way it is. You will never come before Harry. And I don't feel she likes that. And you know, when you have your son, when your son comes into the world here, there will be Harry, there will be your son, and you will come after your son. You will not become before these two people. And I get she feels like, well, when I was in Suits, I was a hero. And now I've been turned from a hero to a villain, you know. And now she's trying to turn this around so she can turn this villain back to a hero. I don't know if she's going to do that, but she's going to try and get public sympathy, I feel, to change this around. To break this force, I get also to actually break this force would be complete suicide. To break this force would be complete suicide. What does that mean? To break this force would be complete suicide. And I guess we kind of know what happened to Princess Diana, you know. And again, I get Harry is trying to protect Meghan, so what happened to Diana does not happen to Meghan. Okay, and I think if she continues in this fashion, she's getting a lot of attention at the moment, whether it's negative or positive. She is getting a lot of attention. I don't like this energy coming through here, that if she tries to break this force of Harry not coming first, then her son, then this would be complete suicide. So I don't know. I also get I don't know, I get an accident near water. I don't know whether it's related to her. I get, after this message came through here, try to break this force and it will be complete suicide. And I get here a horrible consequence of, and I get water, like an accident near water. Another car accident, I feel, near water. I mean, you look at the Kennedys. I mean, the Kennedys were always accidents, weren't they? And anybody like famous like that, they always kind of, I don't know, lots of tragedy, wasn't there, in the Kennedy family? I think she's going to, well, I hope, well, I get like this Diana kind of thing where she's going to look for public sympathy to change this around. She's kind of looking how Diana did it and how Diana became quite significant. So I don't know where I'm going with this. It seems to be drifting into oblivion here, but well, the public have been asked to actually to accept Meghan, okay, and to accept differences and respect differences. I do get there may have been tears last week with Meghan, and it is something to do with this Boxing Day shoot. I feel that, you know, this is going to go. We're going to do this. You know, Harry's been doing this since he was a boy, so he's actually going to do this. It's tradition, okay, and it's like, you're not going, and this is like a warning, you're not going to change this force here, this force of tradition, okay. And Meghan's happy to go with that, you know, okay, that's fine. It's tradition. I feel there may have been tears over that, because she feels that she wants Harry to be on her side. She doesn't agree with the slaughter of animals and wildlife, and I mean, where does that come in with the wildlife trust, you know? So lots of things going on here. I think I really don't know where this is going, because I get this is like drifting to this child here, and I do get that, you know, a boy. I get this boy is going to come earlier than what was expected. I feel, I don't know what this is. I will do a reading on that, whether she was pregnant on her wedding day, or whether this IVF treatment, this embryo had been matured for at least a month, and before it was implanted into her womb, to make sure that it was you know, a successful kind of implantation. They wanted to make sure that the embryo was mature enough, and I feel that the embryo was maybe 6 weeks, so it's like it's kind of more further along than actual, but I think that's why, because the embryo was you know, the embryo was more mature when it was implanted, or when it embedded into the womb. So I will do a reading on that too. So guys, I don't know where this is going. It's going drifting into oblivion here. I feel like I'm going to have to stop here now. Okay. I would say are they eating the hunting food? Well, we've got pheasants, we've got grouse. I would say they would take them home to eat them. They would have them. Yeah, I would say yes, they would. They would shoot them, and the kitchens would prepare them for eating. So yeah, of course they would eat them. I feel, I mean, the Queen, you know, the Queen has actually been shooting in the past as well, and whatever she shot, that they ate. So it's a tradition, because if you watch Queen Victoria's dramas and things like that, she used to go shooting. She used to, I think when they did that Diana thing, I can't remember that Diana film. She went off. It showed her going off. The Queen, that film, The Queen, yeah. It showed that she went off shooting, and she shot this stag, didn't she? Or this stag was shot that she was watching. So yeah, she does go shooting. I think it's tradition. It's tradition. They all go shooting. They all do it. You know, it's part of the tradition of that kind of aristocratic kind of set. They go hunting. They do all of that kind of thing, shooting. Okay, so okay, guys, so I'm going to leave it there because I've gone on and on with this. So I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit different energy from part one. Why? It's because they've got this idiotic kind of energy coming through, and it was a bit kind of hilarious kind of energy. And the second part was kind of more deeper into why this, you know, in the energies of intuitive energies, that this is why this has come about, you know, that, you know, if you keep pushing this, the power of the crown, it, you know, there's no way that you're going to break this. The only way that she can do it is to get the sympathy of the public. And maybe that's the next thing that's going to come up next, is maybe you may see her in tears, or the baby, there's something wrong, a hospital visit or something. She may be, you know, so there may be some kind of public sympathy to kind of turn this around from villain to hero kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but I do pick something up that's going to try to turn this around. Okay, guys, so I'm going to call it a night now. I hope you enjoyed that. It must have been quite uncomfortable that, you know, obviously somebody sat down and said to all of these members of the royal family, Prince Andrew, Prince Charles, Princess Beatrice, and said, look, come on, let's get along. We have to show the public that we are, you know, a very strong family, and that nothing can faze us. And that's what, that, you know, that visit to Sandringham church there, chapel church, where they go on Christmas Day for the service, they were all united. But I feel it was very painfully fake. I don't feel they all like each other, in all honesty, and it's tolerated. It's tolerated. So yeah. So if you'd like to, if you want to make a donation and you feel like, you know, you enjoy my readings, you can make a donation on the front of my channel page, which I think it's up in the top. No, it's on the left-hand corner. Yeah. So if you are the right-hand corner, I can't remember, but there's a little like icon saying donate to this channel, but you don't have to if you don't want to. It's just there if you want to, if you enjoy my videos, but you don't have to if you don't want to. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so sending you lots of love, lots of blessings. Merry Christmas, everybody, and also Happy New Year. And I just have to apologize for the first video because that was a lot crazier than the second part two. Strange. Okay, so sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, everyone. And if you'd like your own personal reading, please give me an email. Okay, my email address is in the description box at the bottom. Okay, sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, guys. I'm just gonna look here. See you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Alexandra Rugley. I do notice all of your comments, and Spring Flowers, Nancy Saxton, MP. I read all of your comments. Kalinda Calais, all the ones that are regular, and Tonya Hollingsworth. I thank you so much for following me. I notice all my regular people here. And yeah, April, April, I read all of your comments too. I feel they're wonderful. And Happy New Year to all of you, and bye everyone. And I think I'll be back again. I'm going to start doing some uploads for the zodiac signs, so keep a lookout for those. Okay. Thank you so much. And yeah, I also go with the energies because this second part two here, totally different energy to part one. How strange is that? You know? Yeah. Yeah, she is, April. She does a good analysis. Yeah, I remember. She says, according to the reading, going on the reading, I read all of your messages. I do. I do. I love it. I love it. So keep writing your comments and keep with this community, and thank you all of you for being part of my community, and love all of you. Okay, I hope we're going to be friends for a long time, so thanks a lot. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye bye everyone. Bye bye.